Claire has no recollection of that terrible tragedy. Moments before the crash, Claire suffered an epileptic seizure with loss of consciousness and memory. Our client Claire Freemantle has today been charged following the tragic deaths of Nuria Sajjad and Selina Lau and injuries to others on the 6th of July 2023 in Wimbledon. She will be pleading not guilty to the charges brought against her. As a mother of school-aged children herself, Claire will be tortured for the rest of her life by the dreadful loss and injury resulting from the unimaginable tragedy of that day. She remains utterly devastated by the appalling consequences for all those so tragically affected. However, Claire has no recollection of that terrible tragedy. Moments before the crash, Claire suffered an epileptic seizure with loss of consciousness and memory. The diagnosis was not offered by Claire herself or made by an expert instructed by Claire, but by an independent medical expert instructed by the police. Witnesses at the scene have been quoted in the media as describing Claire as being delirious and having bitten through her tongue, characteristic of those who have just suffered an epileptic fit. Paramedics who saw her immediately afterwards described her as being in the post-ictal state, also symptomatic of those who have just suffered an epileptic fit. Claire offered the police her full medical records. The police confirmed these medical records showed that she had never previously suffered any symptoms of epilepsy. The CPS decision at that time was not to charge Claire because there was no element of legal responsibility. On the 24th of June 2024, after the first police investigation, Jaswant Nawal, a chief Crown prosecutor, publicly confirmed that, and I quote, "The driver of the vehicle had an epileptic seizure behind the wheel, which caused her to lose control of the vehicle, which then drove into the school. There is no evidence the driver had ever suffered a similar seizure before, and she had no previously diagnosed medical condition. Because there is nothing to suggest that the driver could have done anything to predict or prevent this tragedy, it is not in the public interest to pursue a prosecution." Throughout this second investigation, no further medical evidence has been submitted to contradict the diagnosis of epilepsy. We can, however, confirm that since the 6th of July 2023, Claire has suffered further seizures. The police are aware of these. She remains under medical care and treatment for her condition. We believe that the initial decision by the CPS was the right one in these tragic circumstances, and that there are serious questions to be answered about the reason for its reversal today. There is a limit to what we can say and what should be said now that proceedings are live. There will be no further comment at this stage, and Claire asks that her privacy and that of her family is respected by the media. Thank you.